Today is September 9th, 2022. So if you are looking at this in the future via the YouTube channel, please note some of the things may have changed since the time we recorded this video. And just reach out to Dotloop or us, and we will help you get where you need to be. Oops, let me get out of this. All right, I'm going to go over here. First of all, I'm going to go in my agent account. I want to be an individual, not an admin. So there we go. All right, so let's talk about what all of these things are real quickly, because I see a couple of new faces on here. So this reporting button here is not going to do too much for anybody because you got to have like thousands of things in there. So I'm not going to click on there. This is your loops. We'll always bring you back over to here. You have this view, which is my preferred, but you also have the grid view if you like that. And then you also have the compact view, which is like this. But I prefer it like this. Gives me a little bit more detailed information. Has it been submitted, what the addresses are, and these look like they're some of the agents. So let me get these out of here. Got some new homes in here. All right. I'm just going through and I'm able to archive these right from these screens right here. So, wow, we got a lot of stuff since I archived some of this stuff here. So we just get these out of here. Stays. All right, I'm gonna hit a refresh here. All right, this is your list of tasks if you do have task lists set up. So I don't have any tasks, so there won't be anything here, but this would just give you your daily tasks. Here's your people. This has all your Rolodex in here. This is a good thing if you're new to Dotloop. I'm going to type in here Vohar, and you can see I got a bunch of Vohars in here. And on occasion, you might be looking for someone, and someone might say, hey, I can see it, but I can't sign it. So that would be if they got something at their Yahoo, but you had assigned it to the Gmail. Let me use actually the right people. So Gmail, here we go. So if you'd sent something to someone's business address and to their Gmail address, and they had logged in through their business address, but the signature was assigned to the Gmail address, they could see it because it was right here, but they couldn't sign it because they're not in that Gmail for the authentication purposes. So you got to make sure they're in the right account or you've labeled the right account, especially if you're sending it to the same person in two different places. Any questions on that? Because that sometimes causes some questions for people. No? All right. And then over here are your templates. We'll stay out of templates today. That's a little bit more of an advanced. So let's go back here to loops. And I'm going to create a loop real quick. So I'm going to add a loop. And in this case, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Actually, I'll do a real address. So we'll do 819 48th Street. Norfolk. I'm just waiting. There we go. Google Maps right here has called that up. I got the address in there. And come over here to the template, and I'm going to get a sales contract residential loop. I'm going to hit continue, and I'll be done. All right, and here is that loop, and we're going to view that loop. See if I can move you all over here. All right. All right, if you guys do have questions while I'm doing this, please just unmute yourself because I am working off of a screen here. So just unmute yourself and ask your questions. All right, so here we go. We have our 48th Street. This is going to be a purchase. I want to come over here and say that this is a pre-offer, right? Get that labeled up there for pre-offer. I've got all my details done because I created the loop. And what we have here is we have the buyer counseling documents. So all of these are filled out. All of these are signed, ready to go. Please note this column over here on the left-hand side. This is the admin column. This is not the agent column. So if you see the word optional, that is not talking to you. This is not talking to the real estate agent. This is for the admin. This is an admin column over here. So if it says optional, they're not talking to you, they're talking to the admins. Your column is over here. This shows you what you have done. You haven't shared it, who's been shared with, so that's you and the admins. If there's any notes on that document, this will be where it says it's signed and it's signed by the client. If you just want to share this one document with the client, that's where that is. This is not to share with the admin, okay? This is for you and the clients. This is for the admin. All right, so this is no place in here do we do any sharing with admin. I'll show you where we submit to review with the admin in a second. All right, so I have offer documents. So I've gone into Rain, and now I have some documents that I want to get. So let me see if I can, that's going to do that to me. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second. I'm going to reset my screen up here. Pull this over here. Give me a second here while I reset my screen for y'all. Right, and let me reshare my screen now. All right, so you guys have my screen over here. You can see I have two things set up. Y'all over here again. All right, so I have two things set up on here. One is my Dotloop, right? Y'all can see my Dotloop on the left. You can see my folders on the other side, right? So what happens here, let me go click on this Dotloop training folder. All right, so right here we have copy of listing, residential decor, military AQs. I can grab this military AQs because let's say I went into Rain and I got these documents, right? These documents come out of Rain. We're all good on that? Yes? Anybody that's, yep, give me okay. So these come out of Rain and I got to get them into Dotloop. So I can grab this AQs, I can drag this over here and I can drop that right there on the AQs. And there you go. Now I have the military AQs and all I did was slide it from over here. I can also click on add document. I can do browse. Now it's going to pull up my documents, my folder. I'll go here to my Dotloop training. And I think I did AQ, so let me add the condominium resale document this time. Click open. And now you can see I just added that condominium resale document. Now, because I just added it, it went to the top. When I dragged and dropped this AQs, it dropped on the placeholder. So those are two different ways of getting the same document into the loop for signatures or whatever I need to do with that. Now I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because I want to come over here where it says optional. Y'all see where it says optional? It now says add file. If I click on add file, I can click on computer. And here's my document folder again. And I can click on residential property disclosure, click open. And now I just brought that residential property disclosure in there as well. I think I dropped it on the wrong thing. I think I put it on lead-based paint. So let me go ahead and archive this. And I'm going to do it again this way. Add file, computer, and residential property disclosure. Click open. Now I have that residential property disclosure on the right spot on the documents. So I just showed you three different ways to bring those documents that were in Rain into your Dotloop. So that's a quick, those are three different ways, maybe quicker, maybe not quicker, but those are three ways to get those documents into Dotloop for your sale. If you had the listing, you could do the same thing. Earnest money deposit, you have it as a PDF somewhere. You can click on it that way. You can click on the add document, or you could drop and drag that earnest money into there as well. So that gives you three different quick ways to get those documents into any of your folders that you have. Now we also have here a home inspection folder where you can put in your home inspection reports, where you can put in any of your receipts, any of your invoices, those things that the office staff doesn't need to review. You can put those in here. In the event you got a condo, you can come in here, you can add a folder and type in condo, let's do /POA folder, and then we can take this folder, we can drop it all the way down here at the bottom so it's out of the way, and we'll go browse, and I'm going to get these multiple documents because this is the big condo or POA packet that I got sent. Click open, and there's my multiple documents, and then I can come in here and I can rename that. Condo documents. And there's my condo documents ready to go inside of my condo folder. Now, if you wanted to, you wanted to break them down for your clients, you could break them down, you could split them. So you can click on that. Oops, I shouldn't have clicked on that. Yeah, I did. All right, so I'm gonna go here to File. I'm gonna click on Split Document. And let's say that there's 5 documents. Document 1, document 2, document 3, document 4, document 5. Split the documents. Done. And then you'll see right up here on the top, here's document 1. And as I scroll through, watch that document 1 will change to document 2, which will change to document 3, document 4. So all of those have been renamed to the documents. So that, again, you just go into the PDF, click on the PDF that you want, go to File, click Split Document, and then separate that into separate documents you want. All right, so you've got all this buyer counseling signed. You've got all your offer documents signed. You got your condo POA. You got your home inspection folder. So you got lots of folders, and now you need to turn those into the office. Okay, we are not clicking on share. We are not clicking on share. None of this is for the admin. We want to send this to the admin, to the office, to our Kimberlys and Haleys, Angelas and Shannons and Tanya's and Dale's and Kim's and Uta's. So the admins in our offices, we're going to click on Submit for Review. So up here under your picture, upper right-hand corner, Submit for Review. And verifying the addresses here. There is no referral. So I click Next. Now, I only want to send them the buyer counseling agency documents. I only want to send them the offer documents. See, it's already set up as a sales listing sold, so that means it knows where to go. This condo POA, this was mine. I created it. I don't need to share that with the boss. I don't need to share it with the admin. I don't need to share it with the manager. This home inspection folder, as long as I didn't put my PICRA in there and I put that in the offer docs, I don't need to share this home inspection folder. So that just cuts down on extra paperwork that the managers and the admin don't have to do. You can come in here, new sale today. Yay. And you can hit for test class dot loop. So I'm doing this so that when Haley sees it, she knows it's not real. All right, so I'm going to hit submit. And now over here, it now says admin needs to review. Admin needs to review. Not submitted. So I didn't share this because I don't need them to review it. This has admin needs to review. So everything is good to go over here for my admin needs to review so they can do what they're going to do. All right, let me stop and pause there because I went over a lot of information. Ask any questions anyone might have.
I have a question, but not
Sure.
pertaining to this portion.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm kind of new to Dotloop,
Okay.
and when I fill out the documents and send them over, a couple of things. When I send them over to my clients, I'll make sure it says view. I'll make sure it says sign or fill and sign. But
Hmm.
then sometimes my client says I can't sign it. I can't sign it.
Okay.
Sometimes it'll say being modified, and I'm
Okay.
like, so I'll go in and shut my whole system down. And sometimes that work. I don't know if that's why it's working, but I'm just really confused on that portion of it.
Sure. So let's take this right here. So we have the buyer counseling. We'll take a step back. We'll pretend we've got these all filled in. Well, actually,
Okay.
let me open them up real quick. Let me take a step back after this resets itself. All right. So if your client says they can't fill it in, right? They can see it, but they can't fill it in. Come up here to the people button.
Okay.
See the people? Come to the people button. And this would be where you do what I said. If you have multiple accounts, type their name in and see if they have multiple accounts. Because if they can see it and they can't fill it in, you may have sent it to their Gmail and their work address, and they may have accessed their work address, but you send it to their Gmail address. They're not interchangeable. They can view it in both places, but they can only do work in the authorized account. So that's where you want to make sure that you don't have two addresses. If they say they can see it, but they can't sign it, come up here first and check for this real quick. That's the first thing you want to do if they say they can see it, but they can't do anything. Okay? All right, so let me come back here to the loops. And I'm going to open these. Well, let me come down here. And I'm going to add a person, and I'm going to add Giraffe. All right, so G Giraffe is my buyer. I am not going to add anybody to my team. Add to my team is only if I'm working with Lewis. If Lewis and I are both agents, both in our same office, and we're both working on the deal, I'm going to add Lewis. I'm not adding Rosenwomble. I'm not adding Howard Hanna. I'm not adding Remax. I'm not adding any other company, because if I do, they're going to see all my private communications. So I'm not going to add any other. Are you the one that said I got an email on this morning?
Oh, that was you. Yes, I just was
Okay.
talking to Angela while as soon as Zoom came on, and I'm like, Angela, I'm in Zoom, but she told me what to do. It
Yeah,
was
don't add the team. The only person you add the team, and you won't add Angela or Shannon to the team. The only person you would add to the team is, say, Diane or Darcy or whoever's an agent in your office that you might be working with.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, only if it's another agent in your office that you're working with would you add to the team.
Okay.
Okay, and so over here, I'm going to make this role the buyer. I'm going to add the person. Now I have G Giraffe here. So I can come here, I can click open. And then I can click autofill and see G Giraffe's here. I am in this case, we're calling ourselves the buying agent because they haven't allowed us to change it. So I'm going to make myself Tim Vohar, the buying agent. We use the word selling agent. I got all my address information. I'm going to click autofill. And I see a question. Oh, Lewis, go ahead.
Tim, I think sometimes the problem is, if you, and I've had this before, I was checking the PDF box on Share with my clients and wanting them to sign, they click on the PDF and they're saying, I can't sign it.
Oh, yeah, I'll show you. Yes, I'll show that too.
So I don't use the PDF box until I get a fully executed document. Then I send it to my client.
Yes, that's a great point. I'm going to show that here in this one of these next couple of steps. So Lewis has got a great point. That's going to come up here in about a step or two. So let's say this is all filled in, and I'm going to go back here, saving my changes. All right, I want to share this folder, but I don't want to share the everything in here. I think I want to share with my clients because this is not a listing. So I want all of these documents to go to my buyers. So I'm going to click here on share. And now I have G Giraffe, and right down here is where Lewis is talking. This attached PDF, don't click on this button if you're trying to get signatures. If you're sending it to another agent for Rose Womble, Howard, Hannah, and they're like, I don't want to use Dotloop, I just want a PDF, you can click that. But if you're sending it to your clients for signatures, do not click this button until after they've signed in Dotloop and you're sending them a PDF copy for their files. But this is exactly what could be happening as well in that signature thing. They're trying to sign this PDF as opposed to clicking on the link inside of the email. Now, G Giraffe, 21 fields assigned. I want to show you this too. There is almost no reason to ever do either of these two when you're sending to a client. I would not fill and sign, or I would not edit in private if you're sending to a client. Okay, I would fill everything out and I would just send to them as can sign. If there's one document that you need a bunch of information on and you need the client to do it, I would send that document independently and give them can fill and sign. Because if you send can fill and sign and you send it to both your clients, one of them might be in it, and that would be modifying the document and locking the other one out from doing what they're trying to do. So don't can fill and sign your clients. If there's a reason for it, just send that one document as a can fill and sign. Otherwise, you want to make sure that you are doing can sign. In some cases, you might be sending it as a view only. Hey, look at this, look it over, make sure it's good before we do any signatures. That's fine. But can sign just lets them sign, does not let them modify. The can edit in private is only used for when you're working with another agent. So if you're working with another agent, this is if you're sending it to the Rose and Womble, the Howard, Hannah, the Remax, and you want them to be able to work inside of Dotloop. That's when you can do the can edit in private. So this screen right here, probably, Afia, is going to answer a couple of your questions that you had. One, like Lewis said, don't attach the PDF until after it's all executed. Or you're sending it to an agent who doesn't want to work with Dotloop, then attach it as a PDF. And here's the reason you want to attach it as a PDF to an agent. Even if they say, I'm not using Dotloop, don't give it to me in Dotloop, I don't want Dotloop. Say, okay, I'm going to send it to you via email. There's going to be a link and an attachment. It will be attached as a PDF. If you send that as an attachment, and I'm just going to send this here so I can show you. Now I can come up here to my activity log right here.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that I shared that information with G Giraffe. And G Giraffe, when they get that document, it will log in here that G Giraffe looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to see that. And if that agent says, "Oh, I never got it," well, you opened it. You may not have looked at it, but you opened it, and you can see that in the activity log. So I wouldn't share anything outside of Dotloop. Always share it inside Dotloop, but just attach the PDF for another agent. If it's a client, just come over here and can sign or view only.
So just to reiterate, when I'm sending it to the agent, the listing agent, whatever the other side is, I need to send it to them as can edit in private.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And that might be I don't think I've ever used can edit in private because I didn't really know what it was. Is that
okay? My guess is when you said that someone else was using it and needed control, if you had sent something as can fill and sign, that's exactly what was happening. You had those two people still in there. One of the two people was probably working on it while the other one was trying to sign it. If you had can sign, they both can sign at the same time and it won't affect the other one.
All right, my next question is, so I know like through Rain, if you have to cross something out, I did see strike through and stuff like that. I haven't figured out how to make it work. However, you get the person to initial. It seems like every time I had to change something in the document, it says any changes, if you edit it, everybody have to sign again.
That's correct.
And so
It's
that's
intended to be like that. Yep, it's intended to be like that as an active document. So let me see here. Hey, Lewis, do you have your Dotloop open? Lewis, are you still there? Or did you leave?
Yes, I do.
You have your Dotloop open?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Let me see if I can make this work real quick. This is the first time I ever tried doing something live, so it'll probably go wrong, but we'll see. I guess I've never sent you anything in Dotloop as myself, Lewis.
No.
Standard purchase agreement. All right, so I put the purchase price as 500,000. I'm going to click save and share, see if this works. So I've added Louis Eisenberg. We're going to pretend that it's my client's already signed it. See how it automatically says because he's the listing agent, he can edit in private. See that there? I sent it to Louis. I'm going to click share.
yes.
All right, I'm done. Now, Louis, wait 1 second before you do anything. Okay, so
Okay.
see down here, it says standard purchase agreement, not submitted over here. Don't worry about that. But on this side here, it says waiting on others. And as I hover over, it says still waiting on Louis to sign. Okay, Louis, go ahead, see if you can change the price in there. And you can sign it too if you want, and then share it back to me. And then tell me when you're done.
I just saved and shared.
Okay.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I think share it with you. You got it?
Yep, there we go. See how it changed from waiting on others to updated? So now I'm going to click on stand purchase agreement. And Louis changed the price to 525,000. And did you sign it, Louis?
Yes.
Okay, and I just scrolled down here, and there's Lewis's signature. So see, I didn't do it. Lewis is sitting at home like you guys are. So that's the beauty of how Dotloop works. That quick, he just made that sales price change. Now I can come here. So I got to go to this one here. So when I click here, did you see how this black bar popped up? I'm going to click over here. And so when I click, so see the purple bar up here, there's no black bar. When I click on this field, the black bar pops up. See this little end over here, this field history? I click on that. I can see that the field was added by me at 10:04 and I changed it at 10:27 to 500. I can't see Lewis's because that's his work. So if I come in here and I change that to 5 something else, we'd be able to see mine. And when I come in here, see, it's going to bring up, are you sure you want to edit the form? Yes, I'm sure, because my clients want to make a counter. They'll go, okay, we'll go 515. 515. Now I'm going to go all the way down here to the bottom. Lewis's signature is not there, but if I come to, let's see, where's his field, and I click here, see where the field was added by me at 10:04? Because I worked in the field when I created that. So I'm going to save changes. Now I'm going to come out of this as soon as it lets me. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here to this document, standard purchase agreement. I'm going to open this again. Now I'm going to come over here to more, and I'm going to see document history. And there are already 6 versions of this document. See that we've already created 6 versions. Lewis has version 2. So Lewis has version 2, 3, and 4. See how I can't see 3, so that means that's Lewis's version. Lewis has his own version that he modified. Then Lewis signed it. That created version 4. Then I looked at 5 and I did 6. Lewis probably can't see 6. Lewis probably can't see the odd ones, 2, 4, and 6. I think Lewis can't see because those are mine and he's got his. So that'll tell you. But all of those, if I came down here to Lewis's version 4 and I clicked on download, now y'all probably can't see it. So I'm gonna have to share this. Can you see that? Are you guys seeing the window? There's the that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the wrong version. That's my version. So I have to come here. Do this one. There's Lewis's version of 525. And if I scroll all the way down, there's his signature. So it didn't disappear. It's still there. It's still cataloged. What it's done is it's just now I've got a clean slate to work off of for signature purposes. So everybody's signing and we don't have all those drop down. You got all these little signatures and nobody knows what the signatures mean or where they're for. I just have a nice clean copy of the contract. And then when I go back here.
Thank you.
Yep, when I go back here, standard purchase agreement not shared because I made a change. So it has said updated when Lewis sent it, but I've made a change, but I haven't shared that. Now we're back to where we were with our original offer. Questions on that? Haley, did I hit? You're welcome. Haley, did I hit everything on your checklist?
Tim, I have a question.
Sure, Lewis, go ahead.
Because the document is cleaned and it's going to require everyone to sign again. All, buyers and sellers.
Yes.
And it really does mean that you're going to have to go through that entire document again to make sure that, let's say you see the price change, but you've changed another term in the contract.
Yes.
How would I know that?
Did you,
other than reading it again?
Yeah, when it came in, the field was highlighted gray or yellow, depending upon your screen.
I got you. Yes. Okay.
So if there's any changes, depending upon the color of the resolution of your screen, you're going to have a different highlighted box. So let me come back in here. If someone makes a change and sends it to you, there's going to be a change in this. Well, that's not right there, but in this box here, this would have been yellow. These gray ones, right, in this case, on my screen, I just can't type in. Those are numbers that auto-generate from other fields. But in this case, this would have been a yellow box when that price change came to me, and I clicked on it so quick, I should have pointed it out to you. Any changes will be yellow or mauve or whatever the resolution color of your screen is. So don't necessarily look for a yellow box, but look for a box that's a different color than white. And that'll tell you if there's any modifications made to it. Now, if you click off that document and then you go back, you have erased those colors. So don't say, oh, let me look at it quick, look at the first page, and then get out of it and say, I'll look at it later, because it won't be there. So if you don't have time to scan through this whole document to make sure there's no other changes, give yourself a few minutes to go able to scan through, because that's just where any changes would be on here. But yes, Lewis, that's a good point. You're going to look for that different color box than white. Anyone else have any questions? All right, Haley, did I get everything on the checklist you had?
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. All right, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to sign off. I'll see any of you that are coming for the 11 o'clock showing rental property class. If not, have a great weekend, and see you next week if you're taking fair housing or selling a HUD home on Wednesday. All right, thanks everybody.